I am moving on to sum number 1. I'll do 4, 5 sums. All of you please pay attention. Sum number 1 is x square plus 6x plus 8. In this sum, what we will not be able to do is we will not be able to take anything common because nothing is common in this sum. So what we do here is be very, very careful of what I am saying right now. The middle term means the linear term of the variable. I repeat, the middle term, which means the linear term of the variable. What do we mean by the linear term of the variable? Any term which has a variable, it can be a, x, y, b, whatever it is, but the power of that term has to be 1. The power of that term has to be 1 and it has to be a linear term. That means it will have to have a variable. So that term has to be the middle term. We will break the middle terms into 2 parts. We will break the middle term into 2 parts such that their sum or difference, such that their sum, that means if you add those 2 terms, you will get this term, or their difference, that means if you subtract these 2 terms, you will get this term. Also, the product of those 2 terms, should be the product of the extreme terms. That is, the product of the 2 terms that 6x is broken into would be the product of 8 and x square. I'll just give an example here. X square plus 2x plus 4x plus 8. Now you see, if we add 2x plus 4x, we get 6x, which is the middle term. And if we multiply 2x into 4x, we will get 8x square, which is also equal to the product of the first and the last term. So the middle term has to be broken down into 2 terms whose product would be the product of the first and the last term, and whose sum would be the sum or difference, it might be the middle term. So from here what we do is we do simple factorization. Now in these terms, x plus 2 is also common. So I take x plus 2 common again. So I am left with x plus 2 into x plus 4. Now there is a question. 6x can also be formed as x square plus 3x plus 3x plus 8. Why are we not considering that? Because although 3x plus 3x will give us 6x, but the product of 3x into 3x would be equals to 9x square, and which is not equals to the product of 8 and x square. That is why we cannot consider 3x and 3x. Similarly, we cannot consider 5x and x. 5x plus x is also 6x, but 5x into x will be 5x square, which is not equals to 8 into x square. X square minus x minus 72. Whenever we have a term in the middle which has a negative sign, that means either both the terms that we will take to break this middle term will have negative signs, or one term will have negative and one term will have positive. I repeat, if the middle term has a negative sign like minus x here, it means that the 2 terms that we will consider, either both will have negative signs or the one term will have negative and the other positive. Now in this question, I'll take x square minus 9x plus 8x minus 72. Why minus 9x plus 8x? Because minus 9x plus 8x gives me minus x, and minus 9x into 8x is minus 72x square, which is also equals to minus 72 into x square, which are the extreme terms, minus 72 here and x square here. Now the question is, whenever you have, this is very, very important, whenever you have a negative as one of the extreme and a positive as the other extreme, I repeat, whenever you have a negative as one of the extremes and the positive as the other extreme, it is understood that the middle term will have one negative and one positive sign. I repeat, if the extremes has one negative and one positive sign, that means the middle term will also have one negative and one positive sign. In this case, what we will do, x minus 9 plus 8 x minus 9, then we take x minus 9 common, we get x minus 9 into x plus 8. Five plus 7x minus 6x square. Actually, in this sum, there is no difference to what we have done in the previous sums. But just for you people to understand and not get confused, what I am doing is I am writing this as minus 6x square plus 7x plus 5. Nothing changes. Like the last sum, minus 6x square minus 3x plus 10x plus 5. I take minus 3x common, 2x plus 1, and I take 5 common, I get 2x plus 1. So from here I get 2x plus 1 minus 3x plus 5. This brings me to two questions while doing this sum. Firstly, 7x. Why aren't we doing minus 10x plus 3x? Because then it will become minus 7x and not 7x. That is why we have placed minus 3x and plus 10x. The other thing is, if we do this sum like it, the way it is given, how will that be? It will be same. The answer in both the cases are same. Minus 3x plus 5 and 5 minus 3x are same. 2x plus 1 and 1 plus 2x are also same. So nothing changes whether we put the extreme terms in reverse order. Sum number 23. X minus 2y whole square minus 12 into x minus 2y plus 32. So what I am doing here is, let, for our convenience, x minus 2y equals to a. When we are taking or considering something to be another variable, you cannot consider let x minus 2y equals to x. You cannot consider let x minus 2y equals to y, because x and y are already given. Let x minus 2y equals to a. Why did we take this? Because it simplifies down to a square minus 12a plus 32, which is easier to do. A square minus 8a minus 4a plus 32. I take a common, a minus 8 minus 4 common, a minus 8. So we have a minus 8 into a minus 4. Now what we took a as, we will replace that. So it will become x minus 2y minus 8, x minus 2y minus 4. Now here there are two things that is to be considered. If you want to do it as it is, you can do that without replacing x minus 2y equals to a. If that is convenient to you, you can do that. Secondly, when I took minus 12a as minus 8a minus 4a, why? Because minus 8a minus 4a gives us minus 12a, and minus 8a into minus 4a gives us 32a square, which is the same as 32 into a square. So it is very, very important that when the middle term has a negative sign, please listen, when the middle term has a negative sign, but the two extreme terms are both positive, then the middle term will be broken into two terms whose signs will both be negative. Then the middle term will be broken into two terms whose signs will both be negative, because minus into minus gives us a plus. Okay, so that is the thing that I wanted to discuss about middle term factor, and this is what we have in middle term factor for the time being.